Hi, it's Jeff here from the Wetsuit Centre. Going to talk you through the 2010 Xcel Infiniti Drylock. Lots going on with this wetsuit and lots of Xcel have done since last year to improve the suit. If we start with the usual features, the things that they've kept the same. The seams on the suit is Xcel's own technology, which is a fusion welding seam. When we turn the suit inside out, we'll tell you a little bit more about that. But basically the idea is to stop any water getting into the suit, and it works very well. They've got the smooth skin on the chest, and you've got smooth skin around the back on the kidney and the back area as well. Glued and blind stitched around the side as well, so it's not going to let any water in there as well. Further down the suit, you've got the Duraflex knee pads, common on lots of wetsuits these days, and basically they stop wear and tear on the knees, so great when you're duck diving, that kind of thing. If you give a look around the legs, there's a real thick wetsuit right down to the knee basically, which is makes the suits a little bit hard to get into when you're pulling them up. Definitely keeps you warmer, and it's definitely something that you'll be thankful for when you're surfing in January and February, the coldest months in England. If you have a look at the top of the seat, you've got Xcel's painted chest zip, which goes over the head basically and zips across the front. The idea of this is really just to get rid of the zip off the back, which apparently gives you more flex on the back as well, so you've got more flexibility in your upper body. But also stops water coming through as well, so you don't get any flush through the back of the zip. Basically the only entry water can get through the entire suit is just around the side here. Okay, but then you've got a toggle where you can fasten that as well, so it's really about a minimal amount of water getting into the wetsuit, and the Xcel have done this really well. I own one of these suits, used it last year, and I can sort of vouch for the fact that you get very minimal flushes through the suit, and it really keeps the water out well. One thing that Xcel have done then, different from last year, is the bamboo lining, the bamboo thermal lining, which we'll show you in a second when we turn the suit inside out. It's basically a more flexible and warmer type of material that they've used for 2010, right the way through the suit, and it's more eco-friendly as well, but we'll show you that in a second. Another thing that's slightly different, well, quite a lot different depending how you look at it, you can see this honeycomb effect. It's similar to the O'Neill Psycho Freak and the Seaskin's Wide, which is basically this material here. I'll show you a little piece on the outside. It's basically air pockets inside the neoprene, so you've got three layers sandwiched together, and the inside layer of neoprene basically has little air pockets in it which trap the air in the wetsuit, and apparently air is a better insulator basically from the cold than what water is, so they've thrown that on the front and on the back as well, just to really sort of step up the game and make sure you've got all the insulation possible out of the wetsuit. You've got the smooth skin on the inside of the collar, which you'd expect, just to make sure you didn't get any wetsuit rub. Okay, looking a little bit closer on the actual wrists, on the cuffs of the Xcel Infiniti Drylock, you can see that they're really closed in basically. It's a clever little bit of technology basically, which closes the cuffs nice and tight around your wrist. The idea being that when you get sort of fall off whatever craft you're riding, you're basically not going to have the wetsuit ride up your arm. They use a little sort of a bit of a liquid seal kind of glue there as well on the inside of the cuff basically, and that just really sort of helps and make sure that the cuffs don't ride up on your wrists as well. The idea is that you create a nice joint between your gloves and your wrists, and if you fall off and you get sort of a flush up, you won't get the flush up the arm basically that you used to do with a lot of suits, and it just basically keeps you a little bit warmer. So that's everything going on the outside of the Xcel Infiniti Drylock for 2010. We'll turn it inside out and have a little look inside. Okay, so here we have the inside of the Xcel Infiniti Drylock for 2010. As you can see, there is an abundance of this green material here, which is, as we talked about before, is the bamboo thermal lining, which Xcel are using for this year. The bamboo lining is essentially a lighter weight material than the normal thermal lining that Xcel use, and apparently it's more flexible and keeps you warmer as well, so it's definitely a bonus for 2010. It runs the whole way through the seat, right from the chest down to the knees and around the back area, right through the back panel, right down to the back of the knees there as well, so that's really going to help you keep you toasty in the winter months. As you can see, the blue lining that we've got here, the blue taping should I say, across the seams, is technology quite unique to Xcel. They use a fusion welding technology across the seams basically, which is a high pressure bonding technique they use, which keeps out the water, really sort of keeps water penetration to a minimum, and then they reinforce that with the blue taping, which is fairly unique to Xcel, as you can have a little look there. The neoprene they're using is the ultra stretch neoprene, the right way through the whole suit, so it's nice and flexible the suit. And the way they actually make the neoprene is apparently more environmentally friendly as well, the technology that they use. And so is the bamboo lining, the thermal lining they use as well. So they've really concentrated on the green side of things and making an environmental suit without losing any of the warmth. So Xcel Infiniti Drylock for 2010, definitely one of the warmest suits on the market.